All right,
We're doing it.
we're here. It made it out the group chat.
Yeah, I'm finna give it a little Dak Prescott. Yeah, here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
Not top 25, unranked and dangerous. Episode 1, live from the Chesterfield basement. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the last leg of your New Year's resolution parlay from this past year. Is that true?
Yeah, it was. Marked everything off my resolutions list now.
Let's go, man.
Got it done. Got it done. Quit vaping. Got that done.
All right.
I need to work on the no profanity one. But I think this is gonna help me quite a bit actually. So.
Yeah, my grandma's probably going to watch this, so it's a good time to probably test that one out.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Out of respect for Grandma Atkins, I'll definitely work on my profanity.
speaking of our families, like, I don't want to dive too much into the where'd you come from, why are we here thing, because let's be honest, these first couple episodes, the people watching this are probably going to know who we are, so let's just give a little Spark Notes version of why we're here. Just a couple of college sports maniacs looking for an outlet to spew some hot takes, especially for me, who uses Twitter as the place to release his hot takes, which has sometimes resulted in some scaries. You know, you wake up the next day.
Yeah,
like,
that digital footprint's come back to haunt you.
yeah, you wake up and you're like, oh, wow, I spent too much money. Like, I said something I probably should have. Mine is just straight Twitter. I'm like, oh, wow, I wanted to fire everyone. So I'm glad we have this podcast now where I can do it in a more cognitive mindset and show my actual face.
It's going to be a good hobby and a good place to release all your thoughts, negative thoughts about all your favorite teams. So I'm excited.
Yeah, so for the new listeners that may not know us, probably some of your workout page fans.
Yeah.
We are two Kentucky boys, grew up Lexington, Paducah. I still don't think Paducah's a real place.
I don't even know why it's in the state, man. Everything on that side of the lake, it's hard to even fathom it's in the state as well.
The dirty Duca, man. Like, what goes on out there?
Not much, man. There ain't much to go on. That's why I'm here, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I'm here in Nashville.
growing up in Lexington, I was obviously around no Louisville fans. You're the first Louisville fan that I've met and also become friends with. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've been around plenty of Kentucky fans.
Yeah, I mean, we can put pride to the side and let bygones be bygones.
You sort of own us right now, too, so you kind of have the upper hand.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We're not playing good against Arkansas right now, so we'll see how that goes.
But more than that, funny enough, neither of us went to the schools that we really. I'm an Auburn alum.
I'm a Hilltopper, baby. Go Tops.
And got involved with the whole sports, radio, broadcasting, journalism stuff at Auburn. It's a lot of fun. And then this is my first time in front of a microphone in a while. And we talked about before the podcast, like, hey, like, a little nervous, first time in front of a microphone. I was like, dude, come on now. Like, no one's watched. Like, it's not live. And then when our guy, Trevor over there, put on the lights, I was like, yo, the lights may be too bright. I was like that tiger in the meme that was coming out. Like, oh,
I feel like I'm on a road game with all these lights on my face. Stadium pulse is on 100 right now.
Truly an unbelievable setup. So shout out to our guy, Trevor, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate you.
But with that being said, let's get down to what we've been looking to do for months now.
Yeah, let's get into these conference
Putting
championships.
a lot of work.
The first one I want to talk about, I guess, is kind of the least exciting one that jumps off the paper, Duke versus Virginia.
Yeah, the Snoozer Bowl.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think. It's kind of an up and down thing because if Duke wins, then 2 conference championships from a group of 5 schools get in, and I just don't know how that's going to pan out when they go play in the playoff. Like, say one of them ends up against, a Georgia, and then the other one might end up against an Ole Miss. I just don't. That doesn't jump off the page like if a Virginia and then a 12-seeded Tulane got in. But on the other hand, Virginia's not really jumping off the page either.
And not trying to be harsh, but really no team in the ACC is jumping off the screen. Like we talked about before the season, you were very high on Clemson.
Yeah, I was.
You're Dabo's biggest stand this offseason.
I was, man. Dabo, you let me down, bro. You let me down.
That was a rough year. Miami was, I don't want to say disappointing because I still think 10-2, no matter what conference you're in, is a good season. But they did let a couple slip, and one of them to you guys.
Yeah. That was my favorite game of the year by far, but I was just completely disappointed afterwards when we lost to Virginia at home, Cal at home, which is just inexcusable. I mean, I don't know where to go from here, but the part that amazes me is just the fact that all those teams we just named, including SMU, aren't in the conference championship. Like, I don't understand how you fall so far down the line to where a 7-5 Duke team gets into your conference championship.
And that kind of plays into what I thought about this college football playoff slate. You know, in your NCAA dynasty, when you get in the year like 2039, you're like, why am I playing an 8-4 Duke team in the Sugar Bowl? That's sort of what this season is.
I haven't watched many of their games this year, but what I do know is to me, it's kind of seemed like Darian Mensah, he's their quarterback. He seems like a one-man show over there. I know they've got a good coach, but other than that, they're pretty one-dimensional. I like Virginia in this game just because Chandler Morris went to UNT, North Texas, last year. They were good. I forget the coach's name at Virginia, but he's a hell of a hire. I mean, their offense they run, those two, they do a good job of moving the ball. They're dynamic, and they make abstract plays that work. I mean, they beat us on a bunch of just check downs and stuff that Brom had not accounted for or DC didn't account for, and that was an impressive win for them.
All right, that's enough talking about the JV conference. Let's get into the real conference games. We got another matchup between Bama and Georgia in the SEC title, and as an Auburn alum, this is truly the depths of hell for sports. And to be honest, football for the past 5 years has been really just a purgatory of brutalness.
Wah, wah, wah.
Two hot seat coaches this past year, 2 5-7 seasons, no bowls. My season's done. So now I have to play the role of cheering against rivals and betting on games, which, as you well know, has not been very successful for me this year.
Who are you going to root for?
Georgia. I mean, when Georgia and Bama play, I always cheer for Georgia. I
guess you got to, right?
Like, to the dislike of my Auburn friends, I really don't hate Georgia that much. I kind of like Kirby. I love Athens, the city itself.
Athens is fun.
I think they have the best
Athens
chant in college sports, which I'm not going to sing because, like, you just look it up on YouTube. McAfee does it every day.
They're playing in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to – oh, that's basically a home game. They're going to hit that doo, 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 like they did when they played them in Athens on third down. Doo, doo, doo.
But this is a real gut check for Kirby, right?
Yeah.
Think about how – I don't know what his overall record is, but I know he's only beat Alabama one time as a head coach at Georgia. I believe he just sees that crimson helmet across the sideline and just forgets how to coach.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be his kryptonite. I mean, I know he was the DC there for a while, so, I mean, you know what they say, father time's undefeated. I don't know how to feel, though, just because it's basically a home game for Georgia, and at the same time, Alabama already beat them. So I feel like Kirby and those boys in Athens are really going to want to get their lick back and get one of those top 4 seeds.
I kind of look at this game like roulette, right? You go to the casino, you place your chips on black. It keeps losing. You're like, surely at some point it's about to hit. That's me with Georgia this weekend. Surely they're going to beat Alabama at some point. And I think this is the weekend. I mean, they don't really have that much to play for other than getting a bye, which in reality last year it didn't help any team at all getting that bye because the Final Four was all teams that had either home games or it was all home teams that won. So that extra game, sort of like the NFL wild card, I think benefited a lot of teams.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point to bring up just because I feel like those teams that don't get a bye get an opportunity to get their feet wet when, you know, the lights are the brightest like they are right now. And I feel like that definitely helps them long term as far as going into that bye week and playing that team that has a bye. So I don't know. To be honest, I want to take Georgia. I like Georgia in this matchup just because, like I said, those boys down there in Athens, I think they're going to get their get back. And, yeah, I'm excited to watch that game.
Yeah, then let's take our talents up north to Indianapolis. I believe this Indiana Cinderella run, which, by the way, has been truly unbelievable. Like, this is, again, to bring up the video game, this is something straight out of Dynasty mode, what Indiana's doing. Signetti, like, love him or hate him, he's really proven himself to be one of the elite ball coaches in college football.
He talks that talk, and they walk that walk, man. They're a band of just misfits down there in Bloomington, man. I don't know. I like how they play. Everybody kind of shuns Mendoza, but he gets it done, man. I mean, he makes plays. He makes the right decisions, and he's got a really high IQ based off everything I've seen when he's talking like Gruden or interviews, you know, with the media and stuff like that. But, I mean, bro, what if they did beat Ohio State? I mean, it would probably just be a sequel to what happened last year. They weren't the 1 seed last year, you know, and then they just ran the table on everybody.
Yeah, and speaking of Mendoza, I truly believe he's the Heisman favorite right now. Again, Indiana's story is unbelievable. Yeah. There's a lot of other good stories. I thought for a while Marcel Reed was a Heisman favorite because I like the A&M story.
Right.
I mean, finally A&M was able to eclipse the 8-4 curse that's been haunting them. But you got to throw in names like Pavia. You got to throw in names like
Ty Simpson for a while was
Ty
there.
Simpson was up there.
Dante Moore was there for a while. Jeremiah Love, I think, is an underrated Heisman guy. I just like the running backs. I feel like it's quarterback every year, with last year being an exception. So I like for the running backs to get love because really he does it all for them.
Yeah, but back to the point, Indy. It's cute and all. Ohio State by 2 touchdowns. they're the best team in college football, man. And I don't think Hartline going to USF is going to affect that in any sort of way. No. I bet he stays and coaches for the playoffs.
Yeah, probably so. And honestly, might be a hot take, but I don't really think so. They might be the best college football team since 2019 LSU, man. I mean, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sand really surprised me. He stepped up in a big way this year. I thought he'd kind of have a few rough patches just being a freshman and the expectations and them being number 1 all year, but he's really done a great job. So, I mean, he might prove me wrong again, but I like Cignetti, man. I like them boys at Indiana.
You're picking the upset.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, that's cute and all, but that's not going to happen.
I
mean, I am fading you, so it probably will smack, but I don't know. The Cinderella run's done. They'll be playing a home game against North Texas or someone. They'll get their lick back. But more of the story in college football recently, which is a shame because all these great teams like Indiana, Ohio State are really been second tier to what's been the premier story, and that's been the coaching searches.
Man, it's been a carousel. I was really surprised by some hires, and I was kind of amazed by some of them. Like the whole Kiffin thing just blew my mind. I can't believe Juice Kiffin isn't even his dog.
No, it came out today. Juice is going to Baton Rouge.
I know, I saw that. I was like, what the heck, man? That's crazy. But that was probably the number 1 hire in the SEC in my opinion. And then right behind them, I got to go Will Stein at UK. I did not think y'all were going to get him, and he was the one guy I really was hoping y'all wouldn't get, just being a Louisville fan. But man, y'all knocked that hire out of the park. And then coming in at that 3rd spot, I really like Golish to Auburn, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you have the same order as I do. I mean, the whole Lane thing, though, besides the fact, I would switch Golish and Stein. I think Golish is just bringing a fresh energy that Auburn hasn't seen in a coach since Tuberville. Like, they won, but Chizik and Malzahn were both kind of dorks. Like, they fit the Auburn culture. And then you went to Harsin, which was just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Straight into Hugh Freeze, which was these sleazy, like, Murdoch Southern family that made everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's a used car salesman for sure.
But besides the fact, Golish killed the press conference. Him and Summerall both won the press conferences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Dude, I didn't realize that Golish grew up in the Soviet Union and came over here. I saw that on some media, like Twitter or something the other day, and I was like, what? I did not know that. I didn't know he grew up in the Soviet Union and came over here when he was like 4 or 5. I'm like, what a different way of life. Like, how does a guy from like Eastern Europe just end up loving American football that much?
That just proves that like anything's possible.
American dream, baby.
That just also proves how the U.S. sucks at soccer. But that'll have to be a conversation we'll have for next summer.
I don't think we're gonna cover soccer much besides the World Cup.
Yeah, but let's get back to the coaching search. The Lane Kiffin dilemma. I thought the whole situation was weird. I thought it was poorly handled on everyone's behalf, including Ole Miss. I do like the Golding hire by them. Go ahead and name the head coach. Get that over with.
Right.
Let's move on. Let's win a national title.
Yeah, well, it keeps all those players invested as well, I think. Just keeping those hires in-house and not naming somebody that's not one of the coordinators in interim. I really like Pete Golding. He was a DC at Alabama as well. Mentioned Kirby earlier. And he's done a really good job over there as far as, you know, the defensive schemes and strategies that they run have been well. And then I saw that they're bringing Charlie Weiss Jr. back, so that'll be good. I don't think anything's really going to change for them other than, you know, Kiffin not being on the sideline, really.
At the end of the day, you still have the same players.
Right.
Same scheme.
I'm interested to see who they get matched up with, though, just because I feel like a team could go in there and kind of surprise them, maybe like a Big Ten team who sneaks in. And I don't know. I just know if they get a home game, Vaught is going to be rocking. That's going to be a fun game to watch and an even better game to go to.
Man, I really hope, and this may be the SEC bias in me, I want Vandy in the playoffs so bad.
I do too, man.
And maybe that's us being in Nashville. They won't get a home game.
I mean, the city's buzzing, though, man. Everybody loves Pavia and, you know, Clark Lee and just the whole demeanor of that Vandy team, man. They're a band of misfits, too, and they deserve to be in there. But the only problem is I just feel like, you know, Texas has the head-to-head against them. If Alabama loses to Georgia, like, the committee's going to take that into account. So I just don't know how high their chances really are. But if anything, Pavia deserves to go to New York for sure.
Dude, speaking of Pavia, Did you see our boy?
Yeah.
Did you see our boy?
Yeah, I saw that video on Bussin' with the Boys, man. That's crazy.
Dude.
Go ahead and get the
For the people at home, our buddy Beau Allen, a backup quarterback at Kentucky, was in a little bit of a viral clip with the well-known Pavia family now.
Yeah.
And I think it's time he shares his side of the story. Let me get Beau on the horn real quick.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think what happened to him at Vandy was probably a foreshadow for Pavia's brother of what was going to happen at Knoxville.
What's going on, man?
Beau, you there?
Yeah.
Dude, we are on air here for Not Top 25, and the world wants to know, man, what did Javier Pavia have to say to you?
It was probably quite brief to me, but I was it was probably about an hour or so before the game. We were like warming up, and like mine and Trey's friend Wilson Hampton, I was looking for his cousin Evan Hampton. I wanted to say what's up and just say it to him. So I was over there on the Vanderbilt sidelines looking for him, and I see, like, I didn't know who he was, but I knew he looked just like Diego, and he's like talking all sorts of stuff to all of our coaches. Like, I can't remember what he was saying exactly, but I mean, and he's wearing like a suit, and he has this like flag draped over him. I mean, he's talking all sorts of stuff to our coaches. and like, I was like, oh, this has got to be his brother or something. But then he like comes over to me, and then like I'm kind of close to Bandy coaches, and I think I didn't really say much. He didn't say a whole lot to me. He was just saying like all normal. I can't even really remember, but I like point at him. I was yelling at some Bandy coach. I was like, "What's this guy doing?" And then he's yelling at like any UK body is on the other side. It was like imagine if like he seemed to be drunk, but imagine like if
I'm sure he was.
Imagine like just your normal like drunkest fan in the stadium, but he was just like on midfield. You know what I'm saying? I would say that's probably how it was.
Dude, did you think when you saw a caped man in a tuxedo come up to you and tell you to like stay on that side, that Theo Vaughn, the Bussin' with the Boys crew, and a Heisman candidate would be talking about your encounter a couple of weeks later?
No, I that's what everybody was. Like, a lot of people reached out to me and were like, "What was he saying?" Or even when you reached out, it was quite brief, but no, it's funny for sure though.
Dude, yeah, that's you're the infamous Kentucky number 11 from the podcast, man.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Beau, man, thanks for talking to us, dude. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Enjoy it.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
See ya.
When I saw that video on Bussin' with the Boys, I literally thought it was a band member. His brother looked like a band member just out there on like the 40-yard line. Yeah. I thought he had like on a top hat too. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Did you see what Theo Vaughn said? He was telling people that he's the team pastor.
The team passer?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. What does he mean by that? I don't know either. They got some weird mojo going on over there in that locker room, bro. The thing with like Theo Vaughn and Pavia's mom, too, that's a whole weird dynamic I don't even want to get into, but I don't know.
I love it, dude. I hope they make it into the playoffs. But if not, I mean, another great story, great year by Clark Lee and company. But let's get back to, and speaking of teams on the bubble, there's a lot of scenarios that we could see this upcoming weekend. Like we talked about with the ACC, what happens if Duke were to win? Okay, does the G5 teams get the leap? What happens if Bama loses? Do you think there's any chance that they don't make it?
Bama?
Yeah. If they were to go 10-3?
No, I think they're in regardless, just because I kind of look at it like this. So I feel like Miami could maybe be that 11 seed if, things were different. But, Notre Dame beat them, right? Did Notre Dame beat Miami? Right?
No, week one, Miami beat Notre Dame.
Okay, then that's okay. I got it flip-flop. So I feel like they just favor head-to-head matchups so much, and the fact that Vandy has lost to Bama and Texas, I don't think they'd get in. But with that being said, I think Bama has a good enough resume. Like, even if they did lose and got their butt stomped, I still feel like they would put them in regardless.
I hope they don't, because I hope that for the Auburn and me, but for the purity of the sport, I do kind of want them to get in. No, I mean, not as like a rival, like it'd be anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I worded that terribly. It'd be better for the sport if conference championship games still meant something.
I think at the end of the day, what they're going to have to do is do some type of different format for this because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to satisfy anybody. There's only 12 spots, and one of them's guaranteed to a group of 5 schools. So, there's going to be some good Power 4 teams that get left out every year, but they're going to have to just do I don't know how they should do it, but they're going to have to switch it up, I think, in my opinion. Even going to 16, I wouldn't mind 16. And also, nobody gets a bye, and there's more home games. So, I don't know, but you're not going to make everybody happy, and I feel like that's just the epitome of a 12-team playoff at the end of the day,
It's definitely going to switch. There's going to be a team that's going to be left out that's very well deserving that when the G5 champion or the ACC champion will get in, there's going to be so much complaining from Sark's already complaining.
I mean, honestly, I'm complaining too, and this is no dirt on a group of 5 school. I went to one. If we made it, I would be ecstatic, but I just feel like it's kind of a Looney Tunes game if you've got 2 group of 5 schools in there going against, say, an Ole Miss and a Notre Dame or whoever. It's unrealistic for them to even have a shot unless it's a Boise State Fiesta Bowl anomaly. You know what I mean? So, well, we can't forget about Texas Tech BYU.
Yeah.
The Mormons versus the Panhandle of Texas, man.
How about that, dude? The BYU, man, they got some motion that I don't think people realize, dude.
Bear Bachmeier, 47. What a number for a quarterback, man.
And the whole crumble cookie situation, the Mormon church getting involved. BYU, I really think, has exploded. It's they have all these donors coming out of the closet.
I will say,
not like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean, but
all right, resume.
No, but I really think that they have benefited the most from NIL out of any program, just because I feel like before NIL they weren't really they were a good football and basketball school. I feel like, but they've exploded onto the scene in the Big 12. They're highly ranked in every sport now, and talking about this Big 12 championship, I don't think they're going to get it done, though, bluntly. I think Texas Tech is a national championship contender. They are flown under the radar all year. Their defense is electric, man. I'm telling you, I have a lot of faith in Texas Tech to get this done, and I think it's going to be driven by their defensive play. And Bachmeier's a freshman, I believe. He's never played in a game this big, so I feel like when the lights get brightest like they're going to this weekend, I think he might fold.
Ready for this curveball? I got the Cougars.
You got the Cougs.
I feel like the Big 12 championship is the most token upset championship game. Immediately comes to mind is the Kansas State TCU game from our junior year in college when TCU was undefeated. I mean, even going back to our childhood, I remember they may have been unranked, but Nebraska gave Texas a battle. The Colt McCoy Texas area. This is a tough word. Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah,
there we go.
Probably cut that one.
Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, man. I just feel like this is such a championship game in a conference where you really don't know what will happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was a lot up in the air all year. I think everybody was kind of uncertain of who was going to come out of the Big 12, and I feel like Texas Tech just steadily hung in there and threw the punches and took punches, and that's why I think they're going to come out on top. And I really think they're probably my dark horse to win the national championship or at least compete in it.
I feel like if I could compare the Big 12 to an alcoholic beverage, it'd be like a Four Loko because it's just high energy. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Yeah, not a lot of defense. It is just a exhilarating conference that, I don't know, man. The Big 12 is just exciting. I'm glad they've motioned more towards being a football conference rather than the basketball thing's falling apart.
I don't know, man. They're still there in basketball, I feel like. You've got Houston and you've got a bunch of other programs, but yeah, I agree. Their notoriety in college football has really escalated over the last couple of years. Specifically, I feel like the NIL era, just because, like you said, you got teams like BYU. Texas Tech has unlimited money, all the oil money over there. I think they had the most expensive roster this year, actually. And then, you got a bunch of other teams out there who just compete and fly under the radar and score a bunch of points, man. I like the Big 12.
Yeah, man, and there's obviously coaching searches going on right now, and the other thing that really just kind of gets me excited as a college sports fan, which a lot of people have given me hate for, is conference realignment. And I feel like the Big 12 has really brought in teams that have sort of they picked the right Pac-12 teams Like, it's still fun to watch Colorado, even though they're terrible. But the Deion aspect, Arizona and Arizona State, I like.
Yeah, those are good pickups.
They survived. That's the right word. It didn't really elevate. They survived. You gonna go ahead and switch up to basketball? I've been chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
I've been itching. The timing of this podcast is very funny because I had one of my vintage rants on Twitter last night. You're not on Twitter, are you?
No, I don't have Twitter. I guess I'm gonna have to get it for the pod.
You're gonna have to download it. I mean, you got to go down the right rabbit hole. You can either be on educational sports Twitter, following all the right media members, or you can get sacked and follow the Scott Hugheses and completely give wrong scoop to your friends, and then just go to brain rot sports Twitter, which is the worst side.
That's probably what you're on.
I'm a mixture because I give out facts and stuff, but then at the end of the day, it is very opinionated. But nonetheless, my biggest opinion right now is that Kentucky is in a pit of hell. It is a season that has been a full-on nightmare.
The thing that hurts y'all so much, I think, is the fact that the dollar sign besides the roster got hyped up so much and over again going into the season, and just the fact that y'all have 3 losses in early December. I mean, people are going to make fun and people are going to talk shit for sure.
100%, and it's well-deserved. I mean, you think about the other teams that spend the most money in their respective sports, right? Like Ohio State, they won the national title in football last year, spent the most money. The Dodgers, back-to-back World Series champions, they've spent the most money. We're spending hands down probably at least the bare minimum $10 million more than the next competitor, and we're sitting at 5-3. So, in a normal year, I would give Mark Pope the benefit of the doubt with the injuries. But, I mean, these, past few games, I equate how disappointing these performances have been to someone saying, hey, I can't wait to go to the bar and, let's meet women and stuff. Right. Let's go talk to some tens just to go sit in the corner and play pool with a bunch of dudes, go home and DoorDash.
Got your weather app pulled up.
Yeah, that is exactly what we've done for these past few games. It has been abysmal. Watching it yesterday, it was 13 minutes of just eye-gouging basketball. I'm sure you loved it.
Yeah, I did, but that was insane, the fact that y'all went 10, 12 minutes without scoring a basket at home. I mean, the crowd is on your side. You got 25,000 people that are cheering you on, and you don't score for 10 minutes. I think that's a schematic thing. I feel like that just goes right back down to Pope and his play calling or his execution in practice. Those boys were not preparated. They didn't shoot the ball well. They got, I think UNC had 20 more offensive rebounds. I mean, they killed y'all on the glass, and you're just not going to win a game that way, and it showed.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a complete nightmare, and whispers, here comes the Cards. Cut it to 12?
I don't know, man. I feel like Cal has had our number and always will have our number, but, I love to see it. I hope Mikal Brown has been having a good game. They just killed us in the first half with threes. And our problem is going to be just shooting ourselves out of games, man. I mean, we've got guys, but if shots aren't falling one night for anybody, then we're just going to shoot ourselves out of games.
Speaking of you guys, obviously that Louisville, Kentucky game was – is it fair to say that was y'all's Super Bowl? It was built up the entire offseason.
It meant a lot to us just because it'd been 5-6 years since we beat y'all. I don't think we'd beat y'all since 2020, that COVID year when y'all were really bad. And
that team.
Yeah, I didn't ask you. But it meant a lot to us and the fans just because Mikal Brown's the highest rated recruit we've ever had. We went out in the portal and we felt like we executed, with what we wanted to do. Pat Kelsey had a great first year with a team that he threw together in, quite frankly, 3 or 4 months like Pope did. And, yeah, that game meant a lot to us. I was happy to see us get that dub at home. And I'm really happy with how we're playing this year, but my only gripe at this point is that UK win is our best win, but it's not looking as good now at this point in the season. So I'm still kind of curious as to see how good we are. The AP's high on us.
Are you saying we're not a quad 1 win anymore? We probably aren't.
No, and I think by February we'll be glad that it's quad 1 when it was.
I have a feeling this season's going to be very chalky. We discussed throughout the week, who's your top 5 teams. I think the AP poll has it nailed from 7 to 1 probably. I mean, you can go in any order. Like, I really do believe that especially the top 5 with Duke, they've been uber impressive. I think Cameron Boozer is better than Cooper Flagg.
Man, he's outstanding. He's outstanding. Like, he's just an all-around guy. I saw somebody on Instagram or TikTok today, they were talking about how his game won't translate to the NBA, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's an athletic 6'9" guy. Like, he's a positionless player. He can play 1 through 5 any night. He can pass. He plays good defense. He can score the ball inside and out. Like, he's probably player of the year.
And Shire did a great job with roster construction, which is another complaint I have with Mark Pope, the roster construction, but we'll get back to that. I mean, you have shooters around him. Isaiah Evans, hit the game-winning shot last night. And I always revert back to the old-school Miami Heat teams when LeBron was surrounded by, Mario Chalmers, Ray Allen. There's a reason why they won 2 national or NBA championships, is you got to have shooters around a superstar because everyone's going to collapse, which – there's teams like Kentucky that don't have that, and then that's where guys like Owe fall off. But to stay on the topic of Duke, if the season ended right now and the tournament bracket was set, I would pick them to be my national champions.
I'd say they're up there. I think my top 5 teams in contention right now, just based off what I've seen, is in no particular order. Throw Duke in there, throw Michigan in there, man. They murdered at the Players Era. I think their point differential when it was all said and done was plus 110 in 3 games. Like, they won by an average of 34, 35 points or whatever it was. That's insane. Michigan State looks really impressive. They played y'all really well, and they beat somebody else. Arkansas, I think. They beat Arkansas. They look good. Jeremy Fears is a great point guard, and I feel like Izzo's kind of got his swagger back that he's kind of missed over the past couple years. I feel like those 3. I like Purdue. Everybody kind of gives them a rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like, talks so low of them. But if you watch that Texas Tech game when they played them in the Bahamas, they beat the hell out of them from start to finish. It was like an intimate high school game, dude. It was kind of crazy. Like, it was in like a conference ballroom at the Bahamar Resort.
Are you new to ballroom basketball?
Bro, it was crazy. It was like an intimate high school game. I loved it.
I feel like ballroom basketball, it's been a hidden jewel in the sports world for years. It's awesome. You're watching the top D1 teams play in 3,000-seat arenas. It's awesome.
I swear it was smaller than that, but the fact that made it so intimate is, I swear, there might have been like 5 Texas Tech fans there. It was all Purdue. It was like a high school home game. It was insane.
That was a route.
Yeah.
Which sucks because now they're throwing in this live golf type of tournament with the Players Era, which was, there's a lot of great teams. It was cool to see the whole TNT broadcast. I liked Bruce Pearl on the call, getting his feet wet there. Well, he did have a history with ESPN doing it before he took the Auburn job, but I like that whole setup. No fans really went. The crowds looked pretty rough compared to the Mounties. And
I feel like Vegas is just kind of a hard city to get to anyway. Like, they did it somewhere more centrally located. I feel like it would be easier and more logistical for fans and stuff like that. But I'm a big fan of the Players Era. I think that is the greatest in-season showcase. And I feel like, honestly, all these other small ones other than Maui, I feel like are going to have a hard time competing for teams nowadays just because NIL is such a big deal and all these teams are playing at neutral sites and they get paid for it. So I'm a big fan of the Players Era, and I thought all the teams that they put in there were a really good selection of teams. Like, no team really looked terrible, and I'm excited to see what it looks like next year. Hopefully both of us get in there.
Yeah. Do y'all play in a lot of these tournaments? Kentucky has not been in a tournament like this since I was probably 10 years old. Cal used to be very nitpicky about, okay, I got a young group. I don't want to expose them this early, so we'd play a bunch of cupcakes. Now that we have these veterans, Mark Pope in his introductory press conference talked about it.
Yeah, we played in the Bahamas last year. Like, I remember we played Indiana. We beat them by like 30. That was really like Pat Kelsey and Chucky Hepburn's coming out party. So that was exciting to watch. But to answer your question, no, we don't really play in a lot of those tournaments, and I wish we would just because our non-con's so good already this year. I'm like, why don't we just go ahead and get in one of those tournaments and just play 3 ranked teams back to back to back? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If you go 0-3, oh well. But, if you go 2-1, 3-0, then you're probably going to be a top 5 team in the AP that next week. So I think it's high risk, high reward, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of not off topic, but change the topic. I think the ACC is going to crumble, and if that's the case, I hope the Big 12 picks up Louisville. I hope that.
I feel like Louisville's always sort of been a Big 12 team.
Yeah, well, and I was thinking about it the other day, and you've already got Cincinnati, you've already got Houston, which are 2 city universities. Memphis got declined, but I feel like we have more valuation and a bigger fan base than the University of Memphis. So I was just thinking I was like, man, if the ACC dissolves, I would love to go to the Big 12 because I feel like we could compete in basketball and football, but like if we went to a place like Big 10 or SEC, we would be the same as y'all in football. We would probably go 4-8, 5-7.
Yeah, so I hope, speaking of BYU and the whole crumble cookie circus and everything involved with it, the Penn State people, man, that is a rough spot to be in.
I feel bad for their fans because I don't know how that – I'm not real well versed in the Penn State fan base, but firing James Franklin I feel like was probably a split decision within the fan base. I don't think it was the right decision. And they have completely whiffed on every guy they tried hiring. Like, I know they contacted Brom after BYU's coach said he wasn't leaving. Brom came out today and said he's not looking to leave. Hartline got hired by USF. Will Stein obviously went to UK. I don't know what direction they're going to go because, they've practically whiffed on every guy. And honestly, it's not the best job in the Big Ten. I don't even know if it's a top 3 job in the Big Ten. It might be third, but, I don't know what they're going to do.
Dude, Penn State's weird. I've actually made the trek up to Happy Valley at one point. It is a, I would say, top 15 job in college football.
Yeah.
It's we've seen now 2 coaches. I really evaluate tiers in college football. Like we spoke on Lane earlier, LSU is a job where you need to be larger than life. That is a character-driven job, and Lane Kiffin fits that role.
Yeah, you've got to kiss the baby down there for sure. LSU is one of those jobs, but what do you think about Penn State as far as – is it similar to that job?
No, not necessarily. The Penn State coach is a little, whoever they hire, they're always going to have the image of Joe Pa. That's their legend, right? When Alabama hires a coach, they think, all right, we're looking for the next Saban. Kentucky's still looking for the next Adolph Rupp, Pitino, right?
Right.
Y'all looking for the next Denny Crum. Is Bobby P y'all's goat in football?
Probably.
Dude, y'all are a sleazebag.
I don't know. Schwellenberger's pretty good. He coached us in Miami. Like, we have a rivalry game with them over that. Schwellenberger's up there. Bobby P probably is.
But hey, Bobby P to Penn State? Can we start a campaign? I need that man back being a head coach in college football. And like Penn State, they got some skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, I was about to say he's going to be
a match made in heaven, dude.
It honestly kind of makes sense for the Starsdale line for them to get. Oh my god!
Who are they going to hire at this point? Like, I was thinking maybe Hartline, but like he just took the USF job. Screw it, hire Gruden, man. Like all those like Northeastern kids are big Barstool gurus. They'll probably love it.
Honestly, at this point, I think they might have to go to the NFL and get somebody because I don't know of any more coordinators or head coaches that are really like jumping off the page at that job.
Can I throw a wild take? And obviously, they wouldn't be able to do this year. Mm-hmm. So you could just throw a 1-year contract on the interim again, which I think you could do that. They do it in basketball when coaches quit right before the season.
Yeah, honestly, I don't hate that take necessarily just because I feel like this whole coaching carousel thing that unraveled this year is going to happen every year from here on out. I feel like it's going to get more and more demanding for coaches to produce and win and build a culture. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of parity next year as far as coaches and hirings and openings and stuff like that.
There's an in-state NFL coach that's probably going to come to the end of his long NFL tenure. Mike Tomlin. Stay in state.
I feel like those boys would respect his word over there too in Happy Valley.
He's got to be the swaggiest football coach ever. Like he's got more motion than Dion.
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, Tomlin. That'd be crazy if he went there though.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, Bobby P running it back one last time. Who are some other names they can hire? Urban Meyer, get him out of the booth.
I don't think he's going though, man. I feel like he's already smelled his roses in college football. I feel like his book's closed. And
just keep going with coaches with skeleton. Hugh Freeze, get him back out in the coaching world. You imagine him in Happy Valley, dude. Like I was talking about earlier, I went to Penn State. Like I've never been on a campus that was just so hostile to road fans, which I loved. My friends who went with me can talk about it. They were everyone.
Happy Valley?
talking smack.
Oh,
really? We were around a lot of college students. I mean,
well, shit, they up there near Jersey.
yeah,
They
dude.
up there near
It was
Jersey.
all Jersey kids, man. It was the cut off pit viper capital of the world, and unfortunately, a lot of them are migrating to SEC schools. But the more insufferable ones stay up in Happy Valley. But they had 2 lines. It was always like Roll Tide, and then the token cousin one, which I don't want to say on the microphone. I'm sure you can put the pieces together.
Oh yeah.
Us coming from a school in Alabama.
Yeah, I think we're second to Alabama in that joke.
Who, Kentucky?
Yeah, the state of
Why
Kentucky.
does Tennessee not get it, dude? I mean,
I don't know, bro. They're all like, I feel like they're like kind of proper, like Music City. I don't know. I look at
there's too
Tennessee.
many wine and cheese towns in the state. Actually, Broadway is the opposite of that.
This is off topic, kind of completely to what we've been talking about, but I just want to say this. It hurts my heart to say this because we're 2 Kentucky boys, but I do think Tennessee is a cooler version of Kentucky in every sense of the word.
I mean,
Here. No. Just hear me out. Jim Beam is not as world renowned as Jack Daniels. Country music in general, as a whole, we have bluegrass music. I mean, to each their own, but country music is way better. Like Memphis is a more ghetto notoriety city than Louisville, even though both of them have that persona. Absolutely, Memphis is. And
I was just that's a crazy leg to promote Tennessee, but continue.
I mean, it just in every sense of the word, I feel like it's cooler.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more bigger cities, bigger attractions. I mean, shoot, I moved here. Like, I love it.
Exactly.
I do
That's
agree
why we're here in
some
Nashville
though,
right now.
But I mean, come on now. Like, you're like, we got hip hop, we got Harlow, we got Tiller, we got.
Where are they from?
I mean, you're saying like country music. We got like the bluegrass music.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, but I'm not from the heart of it like you. Like you said, Paducah's barely in Kentucky, so
Yeah.
I'm not really biased.
How, as 2 Kentucky boys, but 2 Kentucky in-state schools behind us, how do you think our seasons will finish? And this will be a good way to close it out, relating our 2 teams, because a lot of this is going to be centered around us being rivals, right? Like, how many podcasts do you see with a Kentucky fan and a Louisville fan in the same room?
Not many. Matt Jones could never.
I want him and the Sheriff to square off at some point. Me and Matt Jones versus you and the Sheriff.
Yeah. Let's ride,
That'd
man.
be a rout.
Let's ride. But as far as y'all's season and how it's gonna go, y'all got a really tough non-con game coming up against Gonzaga. I know they got beat by Michigan by 30, but other than that, they really do look like a really well-rounded team. Based off history, North Carolina out-rebounded y'all really bad with that Vesser kid. I feel like EK is going to do the same thing. It's a neutral site in Nashville. That's basically a home game for y'all, so that helps. I think y'all lose that one. Y'all's non-con's just tough, man. St. John's isn't as good as they're supposed to be, I guess, but we'll see how they are when they play y'all. I think the thing that's really going to help y'all, though, is the SEC isn't as good as it was last year, but it's still a good conference. So, those games are going to be tough. But all in all, I bet y'all go – I mean, if y'all have 30 regular season games, I bet you go 19-11, 20-10, something like that. And you make the tournament, but it might just be as like a 8 or 9 seed this year. But last time y'all were an 8 seed, it worked out for y'all pretty well.
It did, but that team had Julius Randle. You forget the Harrison twins.
Yeah, right.
I was sitting at work today like, man, like what other teams have ever started off this bad and made the Final Four? And the only teams that came into my head were just Calipari teams that lost games early because they're young. Yep. But to your point about the SEC being brutal, I agree. And that's where I think Kentucky can turn it around. And Quaintance will come back, Jalen Lowe. This is a lot different. Maybe the pressure, the lights, the microphone are changing my head because I was going into this like, all right, Trey, God put you on earth to do 2 things. Have salon quality hair and spew crazy sports takes into a microphone and fire whoever your head coach is. So 3 things. But yeah, I was going to go in here a lot more hostile, but I've sat back, took a deep breath, got some food in me, and now I realize like, okay, we're going to get 3 workhorses back. We're going to go into a conference that has really lost a lot. I mean, Auburn's not the same. Auburn's still good. I love Pettiford and Hall. They're 2 bucket getters that Kentucky doesn't have. But that's a winnable game, whereas last year it was not.
Yeah.
Alabama, I think, is going to win the SEC, but they're maybe not. They maybe improved, but I still think Sears and Nelson, all them were big losses. Phylon's great. Still winnable. Yeah. And then you keep going down the line of, like, Florida. Oh, my gosh. I had a feeling before the season started that Florida was going to be a tad overrated because it's just hard to replace what they had.
Yeah, it is. And I know we were watching that game last night and we had a take. I just don't think they have a guy who can go down and just bail them out with a shot like Walter Clayton did last year. I mean, I'm not going to say single-handedly, but he was their guy. I mean, he was their motor. He got it done when it needed to be done. And I don't think Xavier Leaves doing that this year. I mean, he didn't play very well against Duke. Granted, it's Duke. They're a great team. But Boogie Flan played okay, but I just don't think he can live up to the expectation that they wanted as far as him being maybe like a Walter Clayton for this team.
Yeah, and you said I don't want to say – I think he did. I think he single-handedly won them that ship along with some great pieces. But, yes, he did single-handedly do that. I mean, the shots he was hitting against Auburn in the Final Four, I mean, I was there. That was unbelievable. And the Houston game and then the game before against Texas Tech were two of the greatest single-game performances I've seen in the tournament since Kimba.
Yeah, man. He put the burner on in the tournament. That was fun to watch last year, but I just don't know if they can get it done this year. But how do you think Louisville's season's going to go?
Man, y'all are in a cupcake. Like, y'all, I think the 15th region in the KHSAA is tougher than the bottom tier of the ACC, so y'all be fine.
That's all. That's all you have.
That's all I got. All right. So
we busted y'all's ass, and we'll probably end up being like a 2 or 3 seed this year. Let's go get a Final Four or a Natty. Let's go. L's up.
To close out, this is why I wanted to have the pod to spew hot takes. My biggest 2 hot takes before the season, and of course they come back to bite me, were Hubert Davis is going to be fired. I now look like a jackass. And the other one was Bill Self's going to retire. They're killing it in the recruiting trails. Now I'm looking like a double jackass. So I need a new hot take. And I'm thinking I'm going to keep this on the court.
What do you got?
I'm brewing, man. I got a football one. I think Ole Miss goes to the Final Four. Is that warm, lukewarm, hot?
I don't know. That's kind of like a Cinderella story. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it's realistic, to be honest with you. I feel like they kind of got the wind taken out of their sails, or I mean, it could go the complete opposite way, and those guys are more motivated than they ever have been. But I don't think it's realistic.
Ooh, I got one for you. Golesh will win an SEC championship before Lane Kiffin does.
Okay, all right,
man. First one in the books. How do you feel?
Feel good. We're going to have some bumpy roads along the way just with the first couple episodes, but I feel like we're going to reach flow state pretty soon, and it's going to be a fun ride. I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, man, it's just growing pains along the way. I mean, you listen to any great podcast or any great corporation, like there's going to be some bumps in the road. Like, it's going to take time to get some chemistry, but I mean, 2 guys, 2 handsome fellas just talking ball. I mean, there's nothing better than that. But at the end of the day, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back for another episode, hopefully next week, depending on our schedule. I'll be at a wedding, but not sure what you got up your sleeve. But we got a lot to talk about once we come back.
I'm ready to go. Whenever we need to go, I'm ready to go. Not top 25, unranked and dangerous.
See you guys.